the plenary. So now we go to pathway one after another. So the first one is fair care and trust pathways. It has two pathways. One is principles. The second pathway is adoption, implementation, and deployment. So the principle ones is focused on the fair care and trust concept, how to apply those concepts to digital objects. Digital objects could be data, could be software, workflows, models, or physical samples as such, has a variety of objects. So we have 15 sessions in these pathways. We have 8 sessions provide summary or key takeaway messages. And since one sessions could be in multiple pathways, we allocate we select the sessions we think that most fit to report here. So as you can see, we have 8 sessions provide a pathway. So here I will report the top 5. The other 3 sessions will report it in other pathways. This in bracket here. So for the 5 sessions that provide summary, so first one is from the interest group ethics and the social aspect data interest group. So this group has a special focus on how ethics can be implemented along the research data cycle, and what the role RDA can play in this space. So after during the session discussion, they identify they need a landscape mapping for data ethics along each research data cycle, and also including examples. Meanwhile, consider the difference between interdisciplinary and international differences that need to be addressed and considered. And this interest group will move forward with specific actions that are integrating ethical aspect from RDA community into landscape, especially considering, because this is very focused, well-framed focus, so they are thinking to start a working group. And the second session is from the interest group, the RDA or World Data Science, the certification of digital repositories. And they introduce a new the new working group on trust principles, outreach, and adoption. And they trying to formulate a plan to implement the working group case statement, and then update the certification standards, and what surveys would be in place to provide that certification. And the third one is about PIT. PIT interest group, they talking about the equity and the inclusion for all to access the PIT. And they ask a participant to complete the online poll to help them to determine future directions for the PIT interest group. So you can still go to the meeting notes if you have anything you want to say. to see where the direction should be, you can still provide your feedback or contact the co-chairs. The first one is from interest group, Fair Digital Object Fabricate. And so basically, lots of institutions and are implementing or testing on the fair digital object systems, but we don't reach a maturity on functionality and technology. And at the same time, because the academic interest also attracted industry to apply the fair digital object concept to the system. So they identify the need to put effort and dedicate to training and awareness for the way forward. So the fifth one is apply the FAIR principles to machine learning. So AI and machine learning is coming along and progress as very rapid speed. So this group has two task force at the moment. One task force is FAIR for machine learning white paper. They are writing white paper along the machine learning life cycle. And the second task force is coming up the metadata schemas for machine learning. So they will continue this effort. And if you are interested in machine learning, so yeah, this is a good time to participate. And this group run the monthly call. So if you're not a group member, you can join the group, then you will get a notification of their monthly call. So that was Fair Care Trust along the principles. And the second pathways is Fair Care Trust along the adoption, implementation, and deployment. It has topics about practice and method for adoption, implementation, and deployment. And this is this has most sessions. It has 19 sessions. 11 of them provided a summary or a takeaway message. But we will report 2 of them here. The rest 9 sessions will be reported somewhere else. So the first one is a both session. So the topic the rest is talking about collection as data. So so this group is this session had a series of presentations that those speakers who engage in fair and conceptual reuse of cultural heritage collections. So they intend to launch an interest group, and however, the digital preservation needed to be a big part of the conversation. Then, and also they identify we need to move forward with inclusive mandate for digital heritage field data instead of just talking about the culture versus nature heritage. And the second session is a joint session with 2 interest groups. One interest group is P21 tools, And the second interest group is National PID Strategy. National PID Strategy interest group was just recently transit from a working group to interest group. Their working group produced the national supporting output for the national PID strategy. They transition to interest group and will continue the conversation about PID strategy, but also looking for adopters of their supporting outcomes. The two groups identify the common ground to collaborate. So there are lots of conversations about the PID, but also lots of questions about PID. So the two groups identified the way forward is probably provide a resource like PID exchange, resource for PID exchange, but that require, for a dynamic expanding materials that require hosts and support. So if you can offer any help, please contact the co-chairs of the two groups.